Hey besties, welcome back to episode 2 of the Couch Pod. I'm so happy y'all are here. I first just want to say thank y'all so much for all the love that y'all showed to episode 1. I was overwhelmed in the best way of oh my god, maybe I did something, maybe I ate, maybe I had a bite off the plate, you know what I mean? So I'm just really thankful that y'all showed up and I'm thankful to be here filming episode 2. I really am sorry about the wait for real, y'all. Between my finals, between my teaching job, getting out of school and everything, and me trying to figure out my schedule for what summer's gonna look like, and and this, that, and the third, I was spread just a little thin, just a little, okay? But I'm here, we back, we filming an episode, and I just want to get right into it, y'all. Am I a girl's girl? I've really just been reflecting on some time. Every time it's grad season and it's May and people are leaving and things are ending, things are beginning, I always pose that question of all the blah blah blah, all the things I've been through, all the people I've seen, all the people I've met that have come out of my life, just all those kinds of things. And I really just have to sit and think not if I'm really wondering if I'm a girl's girl, but friendship with women is hard. And I'm not one of those girls that's oh, well, I'm only friends with men because less drama and blah, blah, blah. Men are messy. They're sassy. Probably sassier than most of us, okay? That's not really the point here. I think what I'm just getting at is just friendship with women is hard. I've experienced friendships across all kinds of borders throughout my life, and I just feel friendship with women is hard. Point blank, period. Friendship is hard, period. It just is. And I feel the older we get, we feel it just becomes harder and harder and harder. And I feel the way society is set up, it makes it harder and harder and harder. And it's just really frustrating. It's really difficult, but this is what we're here for. We in the thick of it, okay? The first thing I really want to touch on is making friends in college versus making the friends that you had in childhood, how you made those friends. I grew up with traditional friendships, we organically, naturally met in school. My parents met your parents, we all knew each other. I never had a friend that wasn't a part of my friend group. It was never oh, this is my one friend, and she just never knew the rest of my friends. But also in high school, I was friends with everybody. I was friends with the band kids, I was on the wrestling team, so I knew the wrestlers. My guy friends that played football, I was friends with the football boys. My female friends that I'd had since middle school going into high school, we were all friends. So it was just never I felt the need to have to be cliquey or keep my life separate, because everyone just knew everybody. And I felt for the most part my friendships were pretty harmonious. I never had friends that was oh, they're beefing, can't be in the same room kind of thing, you know what I mean? And I feel when we got to college, that really kicked in. But I feel also I don't blame the girls that I'm friends with now in college. I don't blame my college friends, because things actually just happen in college. If you're in college, you know. It gets messy, girl. It gets real thick. If you're not in college, trust you're gonna find out. But it gets messy, it gets thick, and I feel when in college, a lot of it just derives from men. Men are the problem, men are the issue. We've always known that. But really, truly in college, men are the issue. I've met so many girls we've seen her out, or we know her because she's from the same city as us. We get to college, boom, next thing you know, y'all talking to the same man, and now it's beef because he played both of y'all. And it feels like my jaw's on the floor, because I really thought we could be friends, and now for some reason you don't want to be my friend because we found out this man was both doing us wrong, and it just fizzled out, it died. And I feel I didn't really experience that much, but I knew I felt kind of stuck a lot of the times, because I always knew two girls that were talking to the same man. I always knew two girls that were talking to the same man. And I feel people were always put in terrible, terrible positions to where it was nobody's going to end up happy kind of thing. And I feel that created a big divide as to who was friends with who, because oh, well, her and so-and-so are cool, but she's friends with so-and-so, and so-and-so and so-and-so used to talk to the same man, and they not cool, they got beef. So it was you just kind of had to hope and cross your fingers that you weren't befriending somebody that used to talk to who knows who down the street, and you used to talk to whatever that lived on 54th. Wow. It used to get crazy, y'all. It used to get really crazy. Not even trying to be comedic. My Texas Tech girlies, if you know, I don't even gotta say too much. You know, it gets messy. But also, I feel with my college friends, out of all of them, those are probably the ones that like I've met so many and I've made so many because we're in close proximity. Me going to a PWI, going to a predominantly white institution, there's one, like, not an influx of black people. Thankfully at Texas Tech, I never really felt singled out until I went to class. I never really felt like, oh, I'm the only black person or I'm the only Mexican person in the room until I had to go to that big old English 1302 class and I'm the only black girl sitting in there. You know what I mean? So in the sense of like when we would go out or like go to functions or like we were a part of organizations and stuff, I never felt singled out. So I feel like because of that, our close proximity, due to us just naturally grouping ourselves together, I was able to meet a lot of people, I was able to make a lot of friends that way. And then really after like freshman year is the influx of just meeting everybody and like all of those things. And you really start to like kind of pick off like the end of freshman year or really going into sophomore year of like, okay, who's really my friend, who's just somebody I met in Depot District at the bar with a cherry vodka sour in my hand and I've never seen you again. You know what I mean? Like, we're not really friends, I just kind of know who you are and we don't hang out or anything along those lines. And so I feel like freshman year, like the second semester of freshman year, I like kind of really honed in on that because of situations that happened to me. And because of that, like, I have some of the greatest friends I'll ever meet in my entire life. And really, I didn't even meet some of my really, really good friends until first semester of my sophomore year. So like, I'm always thankful for the friends that I made freshman year, like so thankful because I feel like all we kind of had was each other that first year navigating things. But like sophomore year was when I really felt like I met the girls that I'm probably gonna like know for the rest of my life. Like, I met the women that like, we really just enjoy each other. We really have a good time together. Like, we're invested in each other's lives, especially because we were no longer living in the dorms. We're in apartments. Like, we went out of our way to see each other, even though like we still live down the street from each other. But it was like, I made plans to go see you, you made plans to see me. And then on top of like getting jobs and like actually working in the city that my school is, I started to meet a lot of different people and like all those kinds of things, which really helped me defer like, are you a friend for now or are you a friend for life? Kind of thing. And I feel like in college, there's nothing wrong with this, and I'm not saying anything about it because I get it, been there, still there on occasion. Sometimes you just have a friend for now, and it is okay to understand that eventually, like, these don't have to be your friends forever. Like, not all of your college friends are going to be your lifelong friends. Not all of your childhood friends are going to be your lifelong friends. And I'm not saying that it has to be that way because it sucks. Childhood friendship breakups are the worst. They're the worst. The hardest thing to go through. They're not fun, especially if it's happening during like a pivotal moment of your life or it's very unexpected. They're the worst and they hurt and they suck. But take it from me, you will be okay. You will get over it and you will make new friends. You will. At the end of the day, you're gonna make new friends. Even if you feel like, oh, like, I'm just so lonely, there's nobody else in the world. There's somebody else out there right now who feels exactly like you do. And I promise you all are going to find each other. You all are going to be okay and you're going to come out of it. You will. Like, there's actually just no other choice. You need to know that there's no other option for you, for your body, for your soul, for your mind, for your heart. You're going to come out of it every single time, I swear. Oh my God, there's something in my eye. There's something in my eye. Also, y'all, if y'all hear me like I'm a dog, it is so hot outside. It is so, hi, you heard me say dog. It is so hot in here. It is so hot outside, y'all. It's like 95 degrees outside and it's 75 degrees in my house and I'm still hot. So, sorry y'all, my dog's making an appearance. Just bear with me, y'all. I'm doing my best, okay? But anyways, another thing that I want to talk about is kind of like the deception of when you make a friend, if that makes sense. Like, I thought you were this person and I'm finding out that you're not the person that I thought you were, or you were kind of like putting on a front because you saw me as a friend for now and not a friend for life, but I saw you as a friend for life kind of thing. Basically, like, you thought somebody was your friend for real and you just turned out she's not your friend. Point blank period. I feel like in college, especially this past year, like my junior year, I experienced this a whole lot of like, oh, I thought she was my friend for real. I guess, hey, you have to move your body, lay down. Like, oh, I thought she was my friend for real. I guess I was mistaken. But now I gotta figure it out and I gotta move on with my life. Yeah, I feel like it just really got to a point where I was just very hurt because I definitely was making an effort to be friends with people that just didn't want to be my friend for real, that were like blatantly like lying in my face, playing in my face, y'all. And anybody who know me for real, they know I don't do that. I don't play in nobody's face. I don't like when nobody plays in my face. So for you to sit there and do that, and you know that I'm actually giving my all into a friendship, and I'm genuinely trying with you, when I really don't have to, but I am, because I cherish who you are as a person, and I really do cherish this friendship, it just becomes hurtful. Flat out, point blank, it's hurtful. That's all that it is, and that's all you can chalk it up to. I had a really, really hard time with beating myself up about and why does nobody want, I almost felt like I'm 6 years old again, waiting to get picked for kickball, not softball. I was not playing softball when I was 6. Waiting to get picked for kickball, or waiting to get picked to be on somebody's team, or be somebody's partner for a group project. It felt very elementary. Why don't nobody want to be my friend? Why does nobody like me, kind of thing? And I really had to chalk it up to the fact that it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the way that they're raised. It has everything to do with the way that their brain is wired. And I can't beat myself up because you can't recognize when somebody wants to be your friend. I can't beat myself up because you've never experienced a genuine friendship before, and now that you have it, you don't know what to do with it. I can't beat myself up for that. And I feel like for a long time, I felt like I kept trying to make myself seen. I kept trying to make somebody see my worth in terms of friendship. And I didn't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't do that. And I feel like I just really just had to learn to cut my losses. Literally cut my losses, look myself in the mirror and be like, Bree, you did the best you could do. You gave them everything. You didn't do nothing wrong by nobody. And that is enough. You can walk away in your good graces and know that you just did what was best for you. Know that you did everything you could to be a friend to that person, to give them what they could, and you just have to get on with your life. Not stop being a crybaby, you gotta get over it. But low-key, stop being a crybaby, you have to get over it. This cannot halt the rest of your relationships, the rest of your friendships. And I feel like I really, really kept this in mind because when I was going through these hardships with women that didn't really know how to be genuine friends, I was still able to go to my genuine friends about it, and they were able to uplift me and be like, yeah, this, you don't deserve this. You're not a bad person. You're not the person that they're making you feel like you are. And I feel like hearing it from an outside perspective and not just feeling like I'm convincing myself I'm a good person really helped me get through that because of my genuine friendships, because of the women who understood the kind of friend that I was, who understood how much it hurt me to not have to be a good friend to somebody, if that makes sense. And I feel like that really stuck with me a lot this past year. Being 20, I feel like I experienced that the most. And when I turned 21, I definitely was I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm not playing. I really don't want no parts. Y'all are not about to play in my face. I'm not about to waste no friendship on nobody. And I feel like it made me very hesitant in terms of making new friends and getting closer to people. But I also feel like the second I flipped that switch and I was like, you're done, you're cut, I'm not gonna play these games with y'all no more, was literally the second I started meeting extremely genuine women, or the second that I started not even meeting them, I started to really recognize who all the genuine women, not even just women, friends period, all the genuine friends that I really did have in my life, who cared for me, who just liked me as a person, didn't care about what I had, what I was doing, what I was giving them, what I could give others, anything along that line. They genuinely were just Bree cool as hell, that's my dog for real. And I felt the same way about all these people, and I had always felt this way about them. But to rid myself of all of the, what's the word I'm looking for? To rid myself of the validation I was seeking from the wrong relationships allowed me to receive that same validation from people who were already willing and giving it to me. I just needed to open my eyes and accept it. That was I hate to make it seem like clockwork, but it was probably almost that easy for me. And just to truly be able to look at am I still recording? I'm sorry. Okay. Just to be able to look at myself and look at my life and be like, Bree, you are blessed. You are so blessed beyond measure. God has sent you some of the best people. God has literally put your lifelong friends. And I love saying lifelong because I really just I hold my friends to that. My friends hold me to that. God really just put your people in front of you. He has put your community in front of you, and you have to utilize that. You have to make a community out of who you have right now, because this is your community. These are the people that love you. These are the people that cherish you and value you and all of these things. And I will say, I went through a period where, like, I was on Bumble, y'all. And, like, y'all know Bumble, like, it's used for dating, blah, blah. But they also have, like, Bumble for homies, basically. And I was on there, like, I'm literally, y'all, I'm looking through girls, swiping left, swiping right, swiping right. I'm just trying to find a friend, y'all. Just one friend. Just one homegirl. All I was asking for. And with that, a lot of the girls were like, their profiles said like they had boyfriends, or like they were looking for couple friends, or they were looking for just like, some of them were like, oh, like I don't have a boyfriend, like I'm single, I want to go out, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that really, really helped show me like the kind of friends that I was wanting and I wasn't wanting. Girl, anybody who know me, y'all say y'all want to go out, tell me what time, tell me where, tell me what we wearing, okay? I'll drive if you want me to. I do not mind a good night out. I love me a good night out, especially with the girlies, okay? But I'm also the same girl that like, y'all ready to pack this up? I'm trying to go home to my man. So like, it really made me like think about, do I want to be friends with girls that aren't in relationships? Or like, do I want to be friends with people who don't understand what it's like to be in a relationship? Because I feel like a lot of women that I was encountering, and this was different when I was in college, because when I was in college, me and Noah weren't living together. I was living by myself. So I didn't really like, not like I had no desire to go home, but it wasn't like, oh, I miss my man, like I want to go home. I could be at the club missing my man, and he's still 4.5 hours away. So I'm just here hanging out with my friends, having a good time. But now it's like, I'm really ready to go home and lay down and go see him, because I haven't seen him all night. Like, I'm ready to go. That drink hitting, I'm trying to go see my man. And I feel like there are some girls who respect it, like, yeah, girl, like, let's pack it up, let's go home. And there are some girls that are like, oh, you just always want to go be with your boyfriend. And it comes from a very jealous place. And I feel like I didn't want to be friends with women that put me in a position to feel like I had to feel bad for bringing up my boyfriend, or I had to feel bad for being in a relationship and I had to censor what I was saying about my relationship or even about my boyfriend around them. And I feel like that comes from a very like catty place, and I don't know how to explain it. Women who like make other women feel bad about their circumstances because they're not in the same situation. Me, in my head, I call them hey sis girls, okay? A hey sis girl is like, you're secretly a bully, you're low-key a bully. Like that's all you really are, is a bully. And you just feel like the world has to revolve around you kind of thing. But me, I just feel like girls who act like that, they use the term sis a lot. And I personally am not a fan of the word sis. You can call me anything, literally anything. Hey Bookie, hey Boo Boo, hey Stinka Pookie Dika Butt. I don't care what you call me. Don't call me sis. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I got PTSD because I've met a lot of hey sis girls. And it just gives me PTSD. Like, I feel like you don't like me for real if you call me sis. I feel like you don't think highly of me if you call me sis. I don't know what it is. It's just like, okay, it's definitely PTSD. I'm like, now that I'm clocking it in real life, it's definitely PTSD. But I'm just not a fan of it. So like, I also make it a point that I don't call nobody sis, because I never want anybody to think like, oh my God, is she a mean girl? Like, she just called me sis. Like, it just gives like, sis, I want your man. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just like, it doesn't have the right connotation with me. Oh my God, there's a hair on my face. Okay, it doesn't have the right connotation with me. And I just take it very personally. I'm kind of like, I'm always a little taken back. And then sometimes I have to listen and be like, maybe this is just in your vocabulary. But then if I don't hear you say the word again all night, I'm like, oh, you was trying to little girl me. You was trying to little sis me. Okay, I peep you, Bookie. But go on about your day. So yeah, I don't know. I'm yapping, aren't I? Okay, reeling it back in. Like I was saying, really, the key points are just I just really wanted to be friends with women that were in relationships. I wanted to be friends with women who understood what it was to respect my relationship and not like have me, like even my friends now, my college friends who have known me. So basically, one thing about my college friends, I love y'all down, okay? Because they've always made it a point that like, no matter when we went out, they know I don't want to be up in men's faces. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like flirting for drinks and begging a man to buy me a free shot and all that stuff out of respect for my boyfriend. They will never put me in a position to where I have to do that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, if you want to do that, go for it. But I also know how to bow out gracefully and be like, hey, I know like that's the vibe y'all want to be on tonight. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get it twisted. When you're single, you're single. But I know, like, I don't want to be the person dragging them down and then be like, oh, we can't go do this, like, out of respect for Brie and her man. Because, like, girl, go enjoy your life. You're not the one with a man. I am. I got responsibilities. You don't. By all means, go live your life. Call me in the morning and let me know how it went. Okay? So I just feel like, I don't know. I said all of it. I said all of that to say that it's hard making friends in your 20s, y'all. It is hard. It really, truly is hard. And to anybody who feels, you know, like discouraged or like you haven't found your people yet, you haven't found your group, even if you feel like it's too late, it's not too late. I promise you it's not too late. I literally just made some friends like these most recent months of my life. And they are probably the people that I've been the closest to since I met my friends when I was a freshman in college. Like, I really truly don't believe that friendship has a timeline. I believe it's all about your bond and how warm you can be with one another, and just your willingness to craft a relationship, your willingness to hone in on what it means to just love each other platonically as women, as human beings on this earth, literally. Okay? Just go out there, don't be discouraged. If you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking about the people that you love, you're thinking about your homegirls, your college friends, your childhood friends, hell, your mama, your sister, your grandma, anybody that it's just you and them are tight like a booty hole, okay? Tell them you love them, cherish that relationship, nurture those relationships, y'all. They're literally the foundations to our life. You can have a man, you can have a boyfriend, you can have kids, all of that. We are nothing without our female relationships, y'all. Literally nothing. We need it to survive. It's like literally my homegirls are oxygen in my lungs. I love them down. I love them to death, okay? And I love each of you to death. Thank y'all so much for showing up with me. Thank y'all for showing this episode love. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget to share this with your friends. Send this podcast to the girls you love the most, okay? I'll see y'all in the next one, right back here on the Couch Pod. I love you so much. Goodbye. Mwah.